Maintaining and improving the quality of drinking water to customers is an ongoing challenge for all water authorities. Periodic cleaning of water mains to remove silt and other contaminant build-up greatly assists in preserving water quality. Utility Services, now offers the water industry a well-proven method of enhancing the look and taste of water that's fast, cost-effective and uses less water than traditional methods.
Air scouring is the preferred method for mains cleaning to remove the sediment and organic matter from the main that's accumulated over a period of time. It's a method that involves injection of cool, compressed, filtered air to generate high velocities of water and air to remove that silt and sediment and organic matter.
The traditional method most used in mains cleaning is simple high-pressure water-only flushing. This usually involves opening fire hydrants to generate the high flushing velocities required to dislodge accumulated silt and other debris inside the main. By its nature, high-pressure flushing uses large quantities of water, and most often this water is simply discharged, untreated, to nearby stormwater drains. In areas with unsealed roads, water from high-pressure flushing can cause erosion and silt accumulation in drains. And there is always the danger of environmental pollution, as sediment from the mains and dislodged surface soil are washed into creeks and waterways.
Utility Services uses air scouring because it removes a greater amount of sediment and organic material from the main that's accumulated over a period of time, and it uses 60% less water. It is a method that's more adaptable to areas where, with flushing, you just can't generate the required velocities to move the sediment from the main, such as 225 mains and 300 mil mains. Air scouring will cope with that situation. Flushing won't do that in those cases. If you had to do flushing those mains, you'd have to be opening a number of hydrants all at once, and you've got lots of water to cope with.
All Utility Services mains cleaning works are planned in consultation with Client Water Authority staff, taking thorough account of environmental issues and customer convenience.
Utility Services advised us how they propose to manage the works, and basically they would take a plan of the whole areas. They would then sit down and plan out exactly what areas they would do over a period of time, and they would basically advise us in advance, 2 weeks in advance, of exactly what areas they would be working in. They had specific hours in which they would operate, and the public was notified of basically the date and the time that the property owners would be inconvenienced, and they progressively worked through those areas in those time frames, and it made it easy for us because we knew 2 weeks in advance of the areas that would close down, and it certainly makes it easy for the property owners.
Customers affected by air scouring operations are all informed well in advance. Water off times are notified and adhered to by the Utility Services crew. Wherever possible, work in residential areas is scheduled between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. for least disruption. And where there are customers with special water needs, like hospitals, schools, businesses and critical private residences, they are notified and consulted in advance of cleaning operations. If necessary, arrangements can be made for temporary water supplies. And work can also be scheduled to take place outside normal working hours to suit particular customer needs. Part of careful planning involves ensuring customers outside the area of works are not adversely affected.
When we're preparing the area to be scoured, we'll always try and find a large diameter main so we know the water in there is clean, and we can use that as a clean front to bring into the area that we're going to be scouring. When we're also preparing, we make sure the customers outside of the air scour aren't going to be affected, so that would be flow reversals causing sediment to lift or even poor pressure. So we always ensure that they've got alternative feeds into the area.
Good customer relations are also critical to the success of any pipe cleaning program. US Utility Services always liaises with relevant utilities and authorities regarding its planned cleaning operations and maintains a regime for handling customer inquiries and issues. Prior to commencing an air scouring operation, a number of water samples are collected at strategic locations within the area being cleaned. A corresponding set of samples is also collected after completion of the work.
What we'll do is, when we're collecting the samples, we'll actually take it from a hydrant rather than a customer tap. That gives us a true indication of what's actually in the main. We'll usually sample for turbidity, so we can see the big difference between, before and after. And we'll also collect free and total chlorine, and the difference between free and total will give us an indication of how clean the water is also.
Air scouring involves the controlled injection of filtered and cooled compressed air into an isolated length of water main. This increases water velocity sufficient to lift and remove sediments from the pipe via a suitable exit point such as a hydrant. Prior to isolation for cleaning, measurement is made of the static pressure within the operating length of main. This is done to preclude any remote chance of an accidental pipe break when compressed air is introduced. The compressor's regulator is set to ensure the air pressure used never exceeds the normal operating pressure of the pipe. After isolation, compressed air is first injected to drive out the water already in the main. Once this is done, the isolating water valve is partly reopened, allowing in a measured amount of clean water. At the exit point, alternate slugs of air and water, along with loosened sediments, are ejected. And as you can see, using the air scouring method, no disassembly of the water main is necessary. With a continuous supply of water and air in the right proportions, a pulsed flow of discrete water slugs is formed in the main, driven along at a suitably high velocity by the compressed air. These slugs strip loose sediments and silt from the pipe. Disposal of the water ejected during air scouring is always carried out in an environmentally responsible manner. An effective fine filtering process collects the products of the cleaning and minimises silt and other solids being introduced into the stormwater system.
One of the benefits of air scouring is the rubbish is actually retained or retrieved in a filter stock, and basically it's only, you do get some discoloured water discharging, but generally not a problem, and the EPA certainly don't consider it a problem.
Although some water is still lost during the air scouring process, it's 60% less than flushing with water alone. And because air scouring is considerably more effective than simple water flushing, it permits an extension of the interval between necessary cleanings, thus saving even more water long term.
Flushing, you use large volumes of water, and basically in this day and age where the pressure is on to conserve water, it's generally not accepted.
Once the line is clean, care is taken to expel all traces of compressed air from the line before it's returned to service. As all valves and hydrants are returned to their normal operational state, any straightforward repairs needed, such as replacing leaky hydrant seals, are carried out automatically by utility services crews as part of the air scouring service.
The air scouring service also provides a wonderful opportunity for asset condition to be identified. The cleaning crew can identify hydrant and valves that have got leaks or potential faults that it can be fixed there and then if need be. But where there's faults that require further attention, we identify those with our asset fault sheet and pass those on to the client so that any existing faults or potential faults are identified.
Recapping the major features and benefits of air scouring. Air scouring is relatively quick, cost-effective, and yields better results than ordinary water flushing. The look and taste of water are improved as water flow is restored. Utility Services provides joint consultative planning with the client and notifies all affected customers prior to air scouring procedures. Repairs to faulty assets can be made at the time of cleaning or reported to the client for later work. Air scouring improves asset condition and operation, reducing water quality complaints. And very importantly, US Utility Services Air Scouring Service guarantees clients their water quality requirements and standards are met in a no-fuss, customer-friendly way.